War was supposed to be predictable. You invade, you crush resistance, you plant your flag. But on the planet Vela-9, something went wrong, terribly wrong. An alien army of thousands landed, armored and arrogant, certain they'd wiped out humanity's last defense. Then their bases started exploding. Patrols vanished, and a single chilling message appeared. Recon unit still active. They laughed, at first, until one human turned their invasion into a nightmare that legends would whisper for centuries. This wasn't a battle. It was a warning. Before we dive into this mind-bending HFY story, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales where humanity doesn't just survive, it dominates. Share this video with every sci-fi fan who still believes humans are just ordinary. Trust me, by the end, you'll see why every alien fleet now fears 3 simple words. Recon team active. The skies above Vela-9 burned like torn steel. From orbit, the Dreth Dominion's warships blotted out the stars, massive reptilian cruisers descending in formation, their plasma cannons turning the lush green jungles into fields of ash. On the bridge of the flagship Dominion's Pride, General Corvez stood tall, claws clasped behind his back. Victory was routine. The humans below had resisted for only a few hours before collapsing under the Dominion's relentless assault. "All resistance eliminated," his lieutenant hissed. Corvez's jagged grin gleamed under the crimson light. So much for humanity's reputation. Outside, alien banners were planted in the soil where human cities once stood. Fires painted the horizon in orange despair. But through the static of the Dominion's comms, a faint human signal still whispered, a distress call too faint to trace. "Ignore it," Corvez ordered. "They're finished." He turned toward the viewport, where smoke curled into the night. These Terrans fought well, for prey. What he didn't know was that beneath that smoke, one human was still alive, watching, waiting, calculating. And for that one man, the war had only just begun. 2 days after the Dominion's victory parade, the jungle began to whisper. At first, the Dreth soldiers laughed. They were conquerors, not campers. The strange power surges and missing rations, faulty equipment, they said. The vanished patrols, probably local wildlife. But when a supply truck was found overturned, with no driver, no tracks, and every weapon dismantled, the laughter stopped. Reports flooded in, communications dropped, drones crashed without warning. Someone, or something, was inside their perimeter. In the command tent, General Corvez slammed his fist against the table. "Who dares mock the Dominion?" His aide trembled. "Sir, we found a message." A hologram flickered to life, showing words burned into a Dreth armor plate. "Recon unit still active." Corvz snarled, serrated teeth glinting. "A scare tactic? They think fear will win them mercy." But that night, alarms blared across the camp. Searchlights cut through the fog. Shadows moved, too fast, too silent. Explosions thundered from the ammunition depot. Fireballs rolled across the jungle, devouring the alien base from within. And through the smoke came a voice over the comms, calm and human. "Nice camp you've got there. Shame about your fuel tanks." The line went dead. Then, another explosion. By dawn, 1/3 of the Dominion's base was gone. No enemy sighted, no bodies found, just craters and silence. General Corvez stormed into the command center, scales twitching with fury. "Find them! Hunt them down!" But the scanners showed nothing, only faint blurs, as if shadows themselves were moving. Then, without warning, the command frequency crackled to life. "You're wasting ammo," a voice said softly. Human. Confident. Seconds later, half the barracks detonated in a chain of fiery blasts. Panic erupted. Soldiers fired blindly into the jungle, plasma bolts ripping through trees and smoke. When the shooting stopped, all that remained was scorched earth. No enemy, no trace. "Is it ghosts?" a lieutenant whispered. Corvus's claws dug into the console. No, it's worse. It's human. By the next sunrise, helmets were found stacked neatly beside the main gate, each marked with a message carved into metal. Observation complete. Corvus could barely sleep now. Every sound, every flicker of static felt like an ambush waiting to happen. He had led campaigns across 10 worlds, crushed empires under his command. But he had never faced an enemy he couldn't see, and this one wasn't fighting for survival. He was hunting. When dawn broke on the 4th day, Dominion morale was shattered. Entire platoons deserted into the wilderness. Drones were found sabotaged mid-flight. The proud Dreth army, once roaring with victory, was now whispering in fear. Then came a discovery that froze General Corvus's blood. A half-buried human body was found near the forest edge. The tag on the armor read, Terran Federation, Recon Unit 7. Corvus frowned. So this is our phantom? The intelligence officer swallowed. No, sir. The rest of his unit is still unaccounted for. Corvus's gaze darkened. How many? Reports indicate 12 total, per recon team. For a long moment, silence filled the command room. They hadn't been fighting a Terran army. They'd been fighting one recon operative. Corvus staggered back, his tail trembling. One. Did this? Yes, sir. In orbit, the Dominion fleet tried to raise Corvus's command, but received only static. A scout ship descended days later, finding the base empty. No soldiers, no weapons, only a single transmitter beacon still pulsing. The message was human, calm, almost casual. This was a recon mission. Recommend, do not pursue. Then, static. Weeks later, word reached the Dominion Council. They gathered in silence, reviewing the wreckage reports from Vela-9, 18,000 dead, 72 armored units lost, 10 aircraft destroyed, 4 warships gone. All because of one human. General Corvus stood before the council, stripped of rank, trembling. You don't understand, he rasped. That wasn't a scout. That was a warning. No one spoke. The numbers alone told the story. Every alien officer in the room now understood what humans truly were. Quiet, relentless predators wrapped in fragile skin and impossible will. Soon after, a new rule was added to every Dominion military manual. If a human transmission is detected within system range, evacuate. Because when humans send a fleet, it's already too late. And when they send a recon team, you don't even realize you've already lost. High above the smoking jungles of Vela-9, a Terran dropship descended. The Lone Operative watched from a ridge, armor cracked, eyes calm. He whispered into the comms, "Mission complete, 1 down, 11 to go." And that, friends, is how one human turned an alien empire's victory into their greatest humiliation. If that doesn't make you proud to be human, I don't know what will. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves epic HFY sci-fi as much as you do. Drop a comment below. What would you do if the galaxy ever underestimated us again? Because one thing's for sure, humanity doesn't just survive, it conquers.